Good morning. My name is Dawn and I travel dawn to dusk. And this is my dad, Walt.
Oh, there goes the hat.
And his hat just flew away. We are in Arizona, so get ready for some videos with our Arizona adventures. So we are staying in the Cottonwood, Arizona area, which is in the general vicinity of Sedona. And we are taking a road trip today to Page, Arizona. This is actually day 3 for us. You missed day 1 and day 2. You're lucky you missed day 1 and day 2. We had a travel day on day 1, and my travel day dipped into day 2. I missed the car rental place being open and had to wait 5 hours. We had to wait 5 hours in the Phoenix airport for it to open back up. So day 2 was really just driving the almost 2 hours to our cabin in Cottonwood, getting some groceries, having a nice dinner on the grill, and getting to bed early and getting all settled in. So now we're on day 3, and I hope you enjoy our road trip to Page, Arizona. The drive from Cottonwood to the Page, Arizona area might be 3 hours, but with views like this, it's just part of the adventure. All right, we made it to Page, Arizona. We are going out today with Deer Springs. Up on the, you'll see up here, it says Horseshoe Bend Secret Antelope Canyon Tour. That's where their office is. Let me show you here. When you come in, Burger King is right here. Subway is right here. This is their actual office. So we are going out on the combo tour today. We are going to see Secret Canyon and Horseshoe Bend. So come along and join us.
Ooh, baby.
It's good deer hunting though, but well, I know. Where are you guys from?
Connecticut.
Connecticut? Okay, you too? Miami. You guys back there? Illinois. Pennsylvania. New Zealand. Okay, they win.
I got a smile. And get sad, but that's okay. Dad, pay attention. Here. Dad.
Like we do walk here, you guys just watch your footing, watch your steps. There's rocks, there's boulders laying all the way through this whole canyon, so watch your steps, guys. I really do question a lot of it because and he's like, Dad, he's like, It went from underneath my ankles to above my knees within like a snap of a finger. Okay. And we've actually seen big old walls of water.
Quarter mile now.
Did I?
Yell at me for you.
Be careful, watch where you're going. There's a lot of trippers, you know.
There's advice from Walt. Don't do what I'm doing in video. Definitely watch your footing. There are a lot of areas where you could trip.
Like dark holes.
Gets a little skinny here, a little close together, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
See the bird droppings.
I'm just getting a little concerned maybe he needs to do his inhaler.
I think we're getting towards the end, sadly. So the tour guide brought us in, told us stories on the way in, And then at the end of the canyon, he lets you come back on your own so you have time to explore and take photos. He gave us about a half an hour to walk back, and I think it may only be like a quarter mile. Looks like the other group is coming in now. This is the start of the canyon, and I know one of the things that I was curious about was how far was the walk from the canyon to the little truck that they bring you in on. So let me show you. I do a lot of research on the activities I do when my dad travels with me to limit the amount of walking for him and any hazards there are. So I know there's other people out there like me who are wondering the same things. So when I can't find the information on my own, I try to create it. And if you can see, the trucks are just right there. Very short walk. Stop, Horseshoe Bend.
That's why it's speed up.
So another question I had when I was researching was how far was the walk from the truck to Horseshoe Bend? And here's the answer to that. 2 steps. There's a staircase right here that takes you right down. And it is fenced for anybody who's concerned. Down there's a fence. They even have little benches to sit on. And here is Horseshoe Bend. We definitely see kayakers down there. All right, so there you have it. Deer Spring combo tour, Secret Canyon, Horseshoe Bend. We'll give you a wrap up later tonight after the rest of the things we do and see in Page, Arizona. All right, we're popping out at the Glen Canyon Dam overlook. Let's see what we can see. All right, there's the dam and the river behind it. We're gonna get a little closer than this. But as you can see, there's people that are climbing around down closer too. Go down there and you get a view of the river down there, but we're gonna get closer. Just a few minutes up the road, we get to the Carl Hayden Visitor Center for the Glen Canyon Dam. Inside you have lots of exhibits and the visitor center and restrooms, and you even have a view of the dam from inside, and it looks like by that guy standing there you have one outside too.
I think you'd have a better shot of the dam over here, this part.
Here we have the outdoor viewing area. So here you have the river, and here you are dry. That's the bridge we just drove over.
Carrying around for 4 days now, and I just can't find it. Wow, that's a heavy.
All right, we came left out of the visitor center, and most people walk right by this and don't know, but there are dinosaur tracks right here. If you are facing the visitor center, it's on the right, and you have some dinosaur tracks. This is the Waweep overlook, and down there is the marina on Lake Powell. We needed to use our National Parks Pass to get into this part of the Glen Canyon Dam National Parks area. Alright guys, I think I am standing in Utah. The time just changed on the clock in the car. I'm pretty sure that is a welcome to Arizona sign. I'm pretty sure that is a welcome to Utah sign. Let's go see. Okay, now we're at the Waweep viewpoint. So this is a view from above. Those were not the welcome signs, but I do believe we may have been very close to Utah, close enough for the time to change on the car. But I can't say I actually stepped foot in Utah, or I can't say I didn't, so I'm not so sure. But enjoy the view. Part of Lake Powell is in Utah. It's a little windy up here. And you can see the dam out that way.
The World Baseball Classic is down to 4 teams. Down 0-2. Roller Perdomo has one of the best ideas of a strike zone of an Eagle player. Gunnar Henderson, Bobby Witt. He's around second. He'll stop there. It's a good jam in the 5th. We head to the 6th. USA 2, Dominican Republic 1.
I don't even know if you can see you. I don't know what's going on. So hello, we are back at the cabin after a long travel day, and we just wanted to wrap up our day trip to Page, Arizona. So first, we're staying in Cottonwood, Arizona, and it was about a 3-hour drive to Page. So do you think going to Page with the distance was worth it?
Well, yeah, I would think so. It was a beautiful drive all the way up. Saw a herd of elk just around Flagstaff, and the scenery was very nice. And then once we got there, it was well worth it.
Yes, it was definitely part of the adventure. A good majority of the drive was very scenic, and then when we got there, we did quite a few things, as you saw in the video. When I was looking and researching for this day, I was trying to figure out what slot canyon tour would best fit us. So I've been to Page before. I think it was about 7 years ago. I went on the Canyon X tour, and I did some horseback riding. Now today, from my research, I ended up picking Deer Springs with the Secret Antelope Cave Tour and the combo with Horseshoe Bend. So we ended up picking that. But from my perspective, I felt like it was a lot more personal. When I went to Canyon X, it felt like they were just shuffling you in and out. There were a million people there. You were passing each other. You didn't really have good opportunities for photos. Here, it was family lands. The family ran the business, and so you had a little bit of time. He took you through, and then you got to come back at your own pace. He gave you a half an hour. You got to spread out a little bit, take pictures. So I actually really enjoyed this one compared to Canyon X. I can't compare to any of the other ones. With Canyon X, you had to walk up this big sand dune at the end, which made it very difficult for a lot of people. So when I was looking for information, I was looking to see which slot canyon was the most accessible. Fewest obstacles, easiest walk, shortest walk. So what did you think about how accessible the Slot Canyon tour was at Secret Canyon?
Well, very accessible. I'm 70 years old, have some physical limitations, and still got through it very easily.
And I hope I shared through the video some of that information so you could actually see, because that was my biggest question. Was the ride going to be too bumpy? The ride in on the open air truck, it was just fine. It was bouncy, but the seats were comfortable and they were padded, so you weren't bouncing and hurting yourself. The walk was very short from the truck to the canyon. The canyon wasn't that long. It was longer than Canyon X, but it was maybe a quarter of a mile in, a quarter of a mile back out. When we went to Horseshoe Bend, they drop you off right there. You just have to walk down a few stairs. I tried to show that in the video, and then you had your own view of Horseshoe Bend. So I thought it was pretty accessible. Would you recommend the tour?
Yes.
I would recommend it as well. It did cost a little bit more than some of the other tours in the area, but I could definitely see why. It was definitely not a place where you have 100 people lined up trying to go through the canyon, and you had the combo of being able to go to Horseshoe Bend and be dropped right off there and have a private viewing area compared to down the street where we saw tons of cars and they charge you $20 to get in, and then you have to hike out and back. So definitely recommend that. What did you think of the different overlooks and other things that we saw?
Well, you know, I did like the dam area, and the marina was pretty impressive.
So we just did a couple pull-offs. We went to the visitor center for the dam area. It was Glen Canyon Dam. It's part of the national park system, and there was a lot of information inside. There was a nice viewing area. You had bathrooms and water bottle fillers and a little store. So it was definitely a good stop to get some information and information for the area around. So we just did those little stops. And then what you didn't see was we did go to a place called Sunset 89 for dinner. It's a Polynesian restaurant. I got the recommendation from someone else. We weren't really sure about it, but in the end, what did you think?
I thought the food was very good. And watching other things coming out, big portions too.
Yes, everything that came out of the kitchen looked good. I have a food allergy, so things are a little bit, tricky for me when we go out. But I was able to eat great, huge portions. We actually shared a meal, and we're fine with that. So we would recommend that. Make sure you look at the menu first. Make sure you try to find the menu with the prices too, because it is a little bit pricey. But it was definitely worth it. I thought that was a good recommendation. The other thing you didn't see was we did go to the secret Shell gas station that has the little cave behind it. It's not so much of a secret. There were at least 25 cars in the parking lot by the Shell, and then like another 20 cars right down the street. When we went on a Sunday, you would have never been able to get any of the videos or photos that you would see when you hear about the secret gas station. It is now very common, and it is on everybody's list of things to do when they go to Page. So we didn't end up even walking up there because there were a million people, so what was the point? We had a really good experience in the slot cave, so we didn't need to go up behind the gas station. So, and then we drove back. It's currently March, so right now, sunsets around 6:30ish, so we drove back part of the way in the dark, but that's okay. We saw the views on the way up. And now we are back after a long but good day. So would you recommend going to Page for a day trip from the area?
Thumbs up.
Yes, as long as you don't mind driving. Everyone is different. We don't mind being in the car. We don't mind driving. It was definitely a good place to go. I would recommend from the Cottonwood or Sedona area, but if you're somewhere closer, I definitely would recommend it. And there's a lot of other things in the area too that you could make it a whole trip itself. So I hope you enjoyed our day trip to Page, Arizona. Keep following along with us for some more Arizona adventures. And thanks for coming along as we travel dawn to dusk. Good night.